Hey guys, we're going to offer you another short little flow. Again, this is going to really open up the bottom half. It's perfect if you've been sitting down a lot, all of those wonderful things. So, we're going to get straight into it today. We'll start on hands and knees. Just start to work into your cat-cow as you breathe in. Drop your belly, lift your gaze, pull your chest through your arms. And as you breathe out, round through the spine. Good. Next round, drop the belly, lift the gaze, lift the heels up towards the sitting bone, hug them in. Round through the spine, push the floor away, hover the knees just an inch. Really nice. 2 more like this. Just an opportunity to wake up through the spine. Find that flexion, extension. This isn't a movement we often do in our everyday life, hence why it's so important. That last exhale, see if you can get just a little more height. Drop the knees towards the earth. Bring your right arm out in front, your left leg, stabilize. Find length as you inhale. Exhale, start to round through the spine, knee towards elbow, tuck into a ball. A breath in, find length, expand. A breath out, round. Just 1 more like that. Breathe in, find length. Breathe out, use the belly to tuck in. And swap over sides. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to curl. Use your belly here. Your core to crunch you in towards the midline. And as you breathe out, push the belly button in towards the spine to round over a little more. Good, last one. A long breath in. Slow breath out. Come to all fours. Tuck the toes. A downward facing dog. And start to pedal through the heels. And find that length through the lower half as you push your hands in towards the earth. Don't forget that wrapping of the triceps back in space. Take 1 more big breath in. As you exhale, left hand to right outer ankle. Start to find this twist through the thoracic spine. You may have noticed what Tyler did there. He shortened his stance, bringing his hands closer to his feet so he can comfortably grab hold of the outer ankle. Maybe you take your gaze up underneath your right armpit. Let's take 1 more big breath out. Push the belly button to spine. Left hand to the earth as you breathe in. Right hand to left outer ankle as you breathe out. Use that bind, that hand to ankle connection to start to twist through the thoracic spine, offering space for the gaze to lift up underneath the left armpit. Let's take our last breath out here. Ground the hand as you breathe in. Slow and steady exhale. And ripple forward into your high plank pose as you breathe in. Bend your knees, shift your hips up and back. Down dog, breathe out. A rippling of the chest forward as you inhale, articulate through the spine. Bend and hover the knees, send it back in space. Just 1 more like this. Ripple forward, breathe in. Take the hips up and back as you breathe out. We're going to move straight into our sun salutation A. Rise up onto your toes. Take a big breath in. Bend through your knees. Exhale. Step, jump, float to the hands. Land in that halfway lift. Forward into the space as you breathe out. Urdhva Hastasana. Hands rise all the way up as you inhale. Cascade over the thighs as you breathe out. Take that halfway lift breath in. I'm going to challenge you here. See if you can plant the hands, jump back lightly, low plank, bend your arms. Take an upward facing dog, push the floor away. Hips up and back into your downward facing dog. Now I know you guys see your sun salutation A a lot, but there's so much growth to be found in this movement. And starting in that familiar place allows you to really focus on the breath rather than the postures. So maybe you try to jump forward for the first time. See if you can float rather than jump. Land lightly. Breathe in, lift up onto the toes. Breathe out, bend the knees. Float to your hands, control it with the belly, really nice. Take a halfway lift as you inhale. Fold, breathe out. Urdhva Hastasana, maybe a little baby back bend if the core is on. Uttanasana, forward fold, slow and steady, use the whole breath. Take that halfway lift, shift weight into the toes, crown of head forward, plant the hands, step or jump back lightly, elbows hug in. Up dog, squeeze your shoulder blades together, lift your legs off the earth. Downward facing dog as you breathe out. Just take a moment here to catch the breath, to notice the length of the inhale and the exhale. Really slowly, right leg up to the sky as you breathe in. And take the knee to your nose as you breathe out. Puff up in between the hands. Step in between. Land in that, sorry Tyler, land in that fingertip lunge. Really, really good. See, even as a teacher, we get distracted. We muddle up our words. If those things happen to you in your class, that distraction creeps in. That's totally fine. Come back to what you're doing. Come back to the sensation of you broadening the back of your left knee to the sky. And this drawing of the collarbones forward in space. Let's take one more big breath in. A long stance pyramid as you breathe out. Make sure you stay high on the ball of your back foot. We want to take our right hip crease back in space, left hip point forward to ensure that we've got our hips square to the earth. Let's just take one more big breath in. Forward into the space as you breathe out. Crescent lunge. Rebend your right knee, lift your hands up. I'm really going to ask you guys to bend through this back knee today. Tuck the tailbone down and forward. Squeeze left glute. I really, really encourage you guys to feel the psoas beginning to open. This is about opening the lower half. So as best as you can, stay in this stillness. Last breath in. Arrowhead as you exhale. Now here, I'm going to ask you guys to squeeze your shoulder blades together and then play with taking so much weight into that front leg. See if you can hover the back toes, even just for a second. And just while we have this opportunity to play, just observe what it feels like to distribute weight from front foot to back. Let's take our last breath out. Extended arrowhead, reach the arms forward, pinky fingers turn towards one another. Tuck the tailbone down and under. Keep this beautiful long line, keep the belly turned on. Let's take one more big breath in. Hands to the earth, step back, chaturanga. See if you can hover that right leg for more. Upward facing dog, push the floor away and breathe in. Downward facing dog as you breathe out. Let the left leg lift as you inhale. Use that active compression, hug the knee in, tiger curl. Step in between the hands, fingertip lunge. Now it's really common when we become tired or even a little lazy here, we tend to dump the torso onto this thigh. We want to ensure that we're lifting up and out of that. We're really strong by pushing into the front foot, into the earth. Turning the belly on and staying really buoyant through the chest. Keep your back leg on and straight. Let's take one more big breath in. Keep the chest broad. Long stance pyramid. Chest stays broad even as you move through that transition. Your big toe mound on your left foot, ground that down a lot. And then slowly start to take left hip crease back. Right hip point forward, square off the hips. If you want to check yourself, you can place your hand onto your lower back. See if one hip is higher than the other. Adjust as you need. Let's take that last breath out. Re-bend the front leg, crescent lunge. As you breathe in, reach up. In this posture, we like to think hip points down is really heavy, really stable, and hip points up, super buoyant. Let's take just one more big breath in. Keep biceps by ears. Arrowhead as you breathe out, straighten the back leg, squeeze shoulder blades together. You guys will notice from that back heel through the crown of the head, there's this beautiful long line on opposite forces. Crown of head forward, heel back. Take that last breath out. Extend your arrow as you breathe in. Observe how extending the lever load encourages the belly to work more. I want to incorporate everything in this flow today. Just one more big breath in. Reach forward. Hands to the earth. See if you can hover that left leg as you lower, hug elbows in. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. All right, we'll move into our flow. You guys know how it goes. One breath, one movement. See if you can work on creating fluidity and seamless transitions. As you breathe in, right leg will lift. As you breathe out, tuck the knee to the nose. Step in between the hands, broaden the collarbones, breathe in, fingertip lunge. Long stance pyramid, stay high on the ball of the back foot. Crescent lunge, bend front knee and back, rise, breathe in. Collarbones forward, shoulder blades squeezing, breathe out. Reach the hands forward in space, extend your arrow, inhale. Hands to the earth, lower slowly through chaturanga. Upward facing dog, push the floor away. Downward facing dog, exhale, left side, let it lift, breathe in. Knee to nose, round through the spine more. Step in between the hands, fingertip lunge, inhale. Forward into the space, long stance pyramid. Hands rise up, knees bend, crescent lunge. Arrowhead, exhale. Extend the arms, breathe in, use the belly. Hands to the earth, step back, lower, keep your chest broad. Up dog as you breathe in. Down dog as you breathe out. Again, let the right leg rise, breathe in. Work on these seamless transitions now. As the breath transitions from an inhale to an exhale, see if you can begin to move to that rhythm. No jolty movements. Just one posture fusing into the other. As you extend your arrow, keep that tailbone tucked down. Hands to the earth, lower slowly. Use that eccentric movement to build strength. Up dog, that anterior side opener. Downward facing dog, that active home base. When you're ready, lift the left leg, keep the hips square. Round, push the floor away to open the space to step, fingertip lunge, breathe in. When the exhale comes, forward into the space. Bend the legs, straighten the arms, rise on a solid foundation. Arrowhead, squeeze shoulder blades. Extend the lever load as you breathe in. Hands to the earth, lower, breathe out. Up dog, enjoy it. Downward facing dog as you breathe out. Really nice. Right leg up to the sky as you take a big breath in. Take your right knee to your right armpit as you breathe out. Step to the outer edge of your right hand, lizard lunge. Now I know in these shorter flows it's not overly common we offer an arm balance, but today you can either stay here using the heat that we've built in the lower half to open up through left hip flexor, right hamstring and potentially adductors. Or if you want to come into an arm balance, Vinyasa or flying splits is available for you. You'll notice Tyler's taken his hands back in space. He's brought his right tricep underneath his right hamstrings. Collarbones are going to stay broad. I've been saying that a lot today for this reason. When you feel as if you're ready, start to lift that right leg up and off of the earth. And maybe this back leg lifts, maybe. Or maybe you're still in lizard lunge. If you are still there, know you can drop your back knee if you want. But we are utilizing this posture to find that strength at end range. We don't want to become passive here. So no matter where you are, make your way back to this lizard lunge. Take a big breath in. Drop the back knee as you breathe out. Really nice. Those right toes peel out to the outer edge of the foot. Let the knee follow along. And you can either gently encourage the inner right knee out towards the side, gently, or right hand to the sky, and then slowly try and catch this back leg. Now for a majority of us, when we sink the hips down and forward, we allow this foot to stay pretty far back. I'm going to encourage you guys find the space through the quad and hip flexor. Start to hug it in as much as you can. And this is not to say force it. Just gently encourage that foot in so you can find the length through the lower half. Keep pushing the floor away with the left hand. Let's take one more big breath in here. Slowly unravel as you breathe out. Really nice. Come back up into that lizard lunge. Slow and steady, hug that right knee up, downward facing dog. Just pedal out through the legs. Push the floor away, even here. Slow and steady. When you are ready, that left leg, let it rise. Knee all the way to the armpit, as high as you can get it. Gently step that foot to the outer edge of the left hand. You can either stay here with the back leg lifted, or you're more than welcome to bring that back knee to the earth, just as long as we're finding space through the lower half. Or if you want to try Vinyasa flying splits on this side, you are more than welcome. Start to walk the hands back in space. Drop the the left hamstrings onto the left tricep. Really good. Start to straighten out through the left leg, lift the right maybe. See if that's there for you. Just try and keep the chest up and off of the earth. If you're going to exit Vinyasa, try and do so really, really slow and controlled. Just one more breath, wherever you are. And then we slowly make our way back to this lizard lunge. Drop that back knee. Slowly allow the left leg to peel to the outer edge of the foot, knees and toes in line. Either gently encourage it out to the left, or left hand to right foot. Just ensure this right shoulder, you're hugging it down the back. And start to hug this heel in towards the sitting bone. Stay really strong here. Keep the breath fluid. And just one more long, slow, controlled breath in. Hug that heel as you breathe out. Begin to unravel. Both hands to the earth, step back into your downward facing dog. Pedal out through the legs. Observe the difference in the lower half. You're going to take just one more breath in this posture. Enjoy it. Slowly rise up onto your toes, breathe in. Bend your knees. Step, jump, float through the hands. land in a seat. Good. Straight away, lay all the way down on your back. We're setting up for bridge pose. Start to bring the heels in and just ensure that they're sitting bones distance apart, not hip distance apart. Ground down through the big toe mound first. As you begin to breathe in, lift the hips, the lumbar spine, the thoracic, and then maybe you roll your shoulders in and underneath to open the chest towards the back of the room. Just make sure that the feet are really heavily grounded, and at no point in this posture or this hold do you stop pushing into the earth. And keep the legs lifted. Keep the knees hugging to the midline and even that out with a squeezing of your glutes. Really nice. Let's take 2 more breaths here. In this back bend shape, it's really, really important that we control the breath, and that's where our efforts are. Really nice, Tyler. Slow and steady, drop the hips. Windscreen wiper the knees from side to side. Now we have 1 more back bend up for offer. For those of you who have wheel as a part of your practice, you are more than welcome to head towards wheel. But if you don't, I'd love for you to stay with bridge. So no matter where you are, what variation you're moving in towards, feet hip width, sitting bones distance apart, ground them down. As you breathe in, start to lift the hip points, stay for bridge, or if you're moving towards wheel, frame the face with your hands, thumbs towards your ears. Push the floor away, move straight up into this full extension of the spine. Knees hugging towards the midline, elbows hugging towards the midline. Keep pushing the floor away. We're going to stay for just 1 more round of breath. No matter where you are, keep pushing into the earth to stay buoyant. And then when you're ready, slowly release this pose. Straight away, hug your legs in. Round your forehead towards your knees. Maybe you rock from side to side just a little. And offer that lumbar spine just a little bit of a massage. Really nice. Just 1 more breath here. Keep hugging your right knee in. Send your left leg long. And then when you are ready, allow that right knee to drop over to the left side of the body, keeping the right shoulder blade grounded. Fall really heavy into this twist. Feel this gentle opening creep into the chest as the thoracic spine begins to rinse in this twist. Just 1 more round of breath here. Back to center. Hug your left knee in, right leg long. Once you are ready, fall into a twist on an exhale and pause. You exhale next. See if you can drop just a little deeper. Slowly move back to center, treating the body with love and care. Take Supta Baddha Konasana just for 2 breaths to equalize out the spine. breathe into your hands as they gently rest on your belly. If you'd like to stay here longer, you're welcome, of course. But if you are ready for Shavasana, it now awaits. Lay your body long. This moment in stillness is so important. As best as you can, see if you can commit. Begin to refocus on the breath. See if you can feel the clothes draped over your body. Gentle movement, start to introduce it into your limbs. And then treating the body with love and care, begin to roll off to one side and then up to a seat. As always, we land here with our eyes closed and our hands in Anjali Mudra. Bow your head to your hands. Together we acknowledge the practice. We acknowledge each other and we acknowledge ourselves. Namaste.
Namaste.
We'd really love to know how you guys went with this class. There was a lot jam-packed into that small half an hour. Let us know how you went, guys. Have the most amazing day.
Thanks, guys.